There's a great quote by Benjamin Graham, and he says, "The intelligent investor is a realist who buys from the pessimists and sells to the optimists." What's interesting about what we have going on in this market is the environment is going to be shaken up right now with recent pullbacks in the data center markets, in the semiconductor markets, in the underlying tech that's driving AI. See a lot of pullbacks recently. But it's really not pullback. I mean, you look at APLD, for example, I guess it is pullback territory as it jumped just below 20% negative. But then it, in the last week, recovered, and now it's about 17% down over the last 6 days. And so what we're going to go over today is kind of the ideal environment. It's very, very rare. If you have a perfectly timed investment, it's very hard to repeat that process over and over. The best way that I've found to actually come in with perfectly timed is perfectly weighed in value. Weighed as in like on a scale. Because if you look at the value that's being provided by the companies, it's always going to be a large measure. And what I want to talk about with some of these data center companies, but especially APLD, is the amount of value that they're bringing to the marketplace. The integrity factor, the integrity indicator that will hold true for the longest periods of time and always be a probability that's in your favor, whether you're in the long term or in the short term. And sometimes lately I've been using Moomoo. This really helps, especially with APLD when we're looking at the stock. You can actually see the movements and all the price changes in very, very high detail. And the AI workloads for this company, for example, are scaling a lot. If I need to go deeper and look at some of not just the news, but some of the order books or get a look at some of the quotes and deeper analysis, then that's kind of why I like using Moomoo for some of these things. If you're setting up price alerts, you've got institutional data, or you're researching names that we're watching here in this watch list, then it can be super easy as well to build the watch list and go through the shareholders, some of the corporate actions. I can see like BlackRock, I can see Vanguard buying this company. And if you're not using it yet, you're not using Moomoo, then right now new users get up to $1,000 in NVIDIA shares. Plus you get up to 8.1% APY on cash sweep for 2 months when you sign up. Again, it's the first link in the description below, or you can use the QR code on the screen. Let's get back to it. This is something that we can look at with APLD, which is how do you measure that value? Well, one way that I've been kind of looking at these companies, and I just cross-referenced this with a recent hedge fund investor who started from OpenAI, and his name is, it's a young guy, his name's Leopold Aschenbrenner, and he invested a couple $100 million in a short period of time. He didn't invest, but in his hedge fund, they turned it into a couple $1 billion. Okay. So what's interesting is I was doing this about 2 weeks ago, where we were measuring the megawatts to how much value the company receives in return for how many megawatts they provide to the marketplace. And so how does he measure megawatts to value in companies? I don't know if it's going to have this. Again, it was just under his breath in an interview, so I don't know if the AI is going to really know this. But let's see what he says, because in the interview he said something like 2 to 3 billion or something per 100 megawatts, and I was like, that's exactly what we just were saying the other day. Doesn't say anything about the value measuring, although it does say that they are watching grid connected megawatt capacity a company controls and evaluates it based on AI data center rental rates rather than the company's current line of business. Exactly. So this is really important. And we were just talking about this inside of Prophecy recently this morning with our team, as we have a software that does research like this. And one of the things we're doing is we're seeing all the power that is available in various sources, specifically around the source that is being tapped into by data center companies, and how much megawatts they have the capacity to tap into, and how much actual grid power they have the ability to tap into. And so we're going to be doing that more, and I'm going to pull up APLD here as I just share that with you, as these are factors that are heavily considered by me when I'm investing in these companies. So number one, we could just skip to the good part and know that the bad news is that the data center markets are extremely fast growing and they're seeing tremendous amounts of financial investment. And as a result, what happens is the financial investment goes ahead of what their current financials look like. But the good news is that you get these indicators that can actually tell you on the companies that haven't got far ahead how far ahead they actually should be, because you could see the megawatts or see the ability for them to scale. Now, is it speculative? Slightly, but is it based on the assumption that the demand in the marketplace is going to be outstanding for the AI? Yes, it is. And that's something I'm always willing to bet on in 2026 right now, is that exact thing, that there will be more demand for AI in the future. So considering these things together, and you see the financials and you see their $10 billion market cap that Applied Digital's at, they just did $100 million last quarter. If we look at Applied Digital through that lens, okay, we look at their current pipeline. There's some other companies that I would love to do this with as well. One of them is Keel. I was just talking with Ryan, our co-founder here at Prophecy app, which, by the way, if you guys want AI projections just like this, using some of the data that I just mentioned, you can always find it in the first link below whenever you're ready. Go have a look there, as it is closing soon though. So when it comes to the Applied Digital approach, how much value are we actually seeing? There's a reason, most likely. We look at the NASDAQ institutional buying and selling that's going on, and you can see that BlackRock and Vanguard and what have you have been buying. Goldman Sachs have been buying, and there's more increased positions than decreased positions. And I believe the main reason here is this number right here, these numbers. If they currently have under contract about 900 megawatts critical IT, 1240 megawatts, we've already determined every 100 megawatts that are available to the AI marketplace for the computation and the cloud that this company either leases out, sells, or owns, that we're looking at between about 1.5 to 2.5 billion dollars per 100 megawatts that a company is able to offer in relation to this. So if that's the case, you could say that if they have an active pipeline of 3.5 billion with an extended pipeline of greater than 5 billion, but let's just take that 3.5 billion number currently, and we forget about the recent contracts, the $23 billion they have in their leases that is already more than twice their market cap. We forget about the $11 billion CoreWeave deal, which is an AI company that's a hyperscaler that's leasing one of their biggest data centers. And we just forget about any contracts, but we just simply look at this 3.5 gigawatt pipeline here of data center sites that they're building. And we essentially divide that by 100 megawatts. You're going to come out to about 35 times a conservative 1.5 billion. You could take about 2.5 billion on the aggressive end, but let's just say a conservative 1.5 billion per 100 megawatts. So you're doing 1.5 billion times 3.5 or 35. So conservatively, 1.5 would be 35 billion plus another 17 and a half. So $52 billion pipeline. And if you take another aggressive estimate, so not that 52 billion, but you take another aggressive estimate that it's a $2 billion per 100 megawatts, which is what we've seen. We have seen that. In fact, we've seen currently 2.5 billion, but that's relative to some of their market caps and some of their contracts that they're getting. So if we take that number, then this number becomes more like, 70 to $80 billion pipeline. So pipeline is relative because there could be some things that change, but when those things become under contract, or assuming that those things do, which every time they've come out with an article where they've had to build out in North Dakota in this cold place where they have cheap power for these AI companies, and they get approved and they go through, they start building the infrastructure, the AI infrastructure. Once the hyperscalers launch and they're partnered with the enterprise to have these large scale infrastructures and they get the leases, every lease that they have had has then turned into real revenue. So this 3.5 billion, just assuming it turns into real revenue, or 3.5 gigawatts, which would be a conservative 52 billion, their market cap most likely with the $52 billion in leasing, that's on top of their 23 billion they already have going. So that would put them roughly around 70, let's say 75. Conservative. $75 billion in data center deals. Do they, and they're making money quarterly. They're already making, that balance sheet is growing to 3 billion in equity, and they have the revenue. What happens at that moment is they probably turn positive net income. Revenue grows more. Market caps are then potentially holding around that 40 to 60 or 40 to 100 billion, right? It could get really volatile depending on how the market reacts and how the virality comes in from an institutional perspective. But just from a valuation equilibrium that it would reach in the market that we've seen relative to how much the cost is for this AI and how much that would impact their revenues, and relative to how that normally impacts the market cap, seeing that 40 to $100 billion range would make a lot of sense. Now that would be about, again, a 4x to 10x from here. So I'd put them at around 160 to potentially $380 a share. And we have some interesting projections. Now, over the next year, we have projections for prophecy here from our AI models as high as $75 a share. And if you want to get all these projections, they use all the analysis I go through ingrained into the models and using data that the top AIs don't normally use. In fact, we just added the newest Gemini today. We added the newest Grok recently, and we've been adding ChatGPT, and you can get the projections there. Our near-term projections are above 50% accurate within the next 24 hours for their direction accuracy. So it has been very exciting to use prophecy. And if you want to be a part of it and also join while we're still getting started in the company, then go have a look in the first link below. So once again, just thinking about the relationship between those numbers, and then looking at the news, and then looking at the technicals. The short term, you saw that big pullback, and you do see them use this previous resistance at around $37 a share. It's a very strong resistance as a support today, and they recovered about 6% here into Wednesday here as the market's approaching close. They did break out of pattern. They were kind of selling down, holding below that EMA, that blue line, before breaking out above it. RSI no longer way oversold, MACD no longer way oversold. We start to see them recover, push back above that EMA. And then as we take a longer term view of just, where they're at, there is that possibility that you get that sell down, that way greater conservative play in the market. That's always possible. It would look something like, this is the trend basically. And then you get that very conservative kind of sell down to the 200-day moving average all the way back down to that $25 range. It is possible. It's possible. But that's a very conservative approach. There's a couple things that are working for it. If you discount that move back in April, that was pretty drastic move there before the recovery that kind of went all the way from 2025 into April. If you kind of look at that move there, discount it a little bit, then you're starting to look like this is the trend. Discount that move a little bit, that overreaction, and say, okay, we get this previous resistance pullback. Maybe it sells down further into that 30, 33. but potentially we're looking for that overall continuation to assume that investors will see their revenue continue to increase in this pipeline they were seeing, and that the market responds positively, which they are currently, to a potentially 43% gain. So we've been covering this stock since about $3 a share. I personally am a long-term investor in this company. I hold it in my Schwab portfolio. You guys can find probably over about 50 videos covering this one. So personally, in the long term, I've wrote it 50% swings up and down, and I don't really do much with this one. But we do have a short-term position going right now that's up about 48% that we're able to enter right around this level. If we start to see a big break in pattern in the semiconductor market, I've been heavily considering selling, because I am hedging right now, selling if we see a massive shift. As of right now, things are holding strong. And I say selling for short-term stuff. I'm not talking about the long term. But as we're looking at the because on the short term, like medium term, couple months, we're up big. But let's say we get into a bearish environment in the overall market. Inflation data is too strong. Iran war just does not cool off. In fact, it escalates. Fed chair drama continues or something like that, right? Then maybe you get that big pull down. But overall, what I'm actually expecting, and this is kind of why we're still in it currently, obviously, is that potential swing and continuation, and that we're kind of still at these baselines that we've seen before. Now, in 2021, this stock has had tremendous momentum back around Bitcoin when they were a Bitcoin miner before they went fully AI. And it's possible you get those big cycles, and maybe you get a cycle in the AI market where you get those pull downs. So that's always something to consider. And if you're not willing to, wait 5 years on the stock, there's a good quote from Warren Buffett. I believe it's, if you wouldn't touch a stock for 10 years, let's see if we can find the quote. If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. Every stock that I trade short term, I also hold long term. And it's really important to do so in my eyes, because the integrity of the positions means you have conviction. And if anything were to go wrong, you are in something that you actually want to hold long term. And it's not something you don't understand. Understanding is the key. You can have less understanding when you first start, but ultimately, if something's going to be in your big long-term basket where you're full conviction in it, then it can make sense to first not go in with 2 feet. There's another quote from Warren Buffett. I think it's like, don't go into the water, test the depth of water with both feet. Maybe go in, a little bit with 1 foot and then test it out, see how it goes. Then go into 2 feet once you fully are in it when testing the depths. Hopefully that's helpful, guys. The long term looks very promising again, but there's going to be lots of volatility as there's average swings of 10 to 20%, so do expect that. And the integrity of the company, as far as I could tell, has been good as their financials has shown up. Just looking for them to actually turn a profit into their next earnings. I think that would be really key, rather than seeing them have that negative net income. If you'd like to get more structured trading and have the ability to optimize your portfolio for investing in the frontier markets like data center, quantum, space, photonics, technology, and you want to be on the frontier of investing in those markets, the second link below, and let's get you on the right track. Appreciate you all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.